Good morning, live from the Kennedy Arena here in beautiful Rome, New York. We bring you the Siege of Central New York 2019, brought to you on Twitch TV by New England Roller Derby Report. I'm Beautiful Banshee.
I'm Bobby Narco.
And we are here to bring you Game 1, kicking off the whole event here at Siege. We have Burning River Roller Derby, currently ranked number 203 in the WFTDA, and their competitor this morning. We have Green Mountain Roller Derby's Grade A Fancy from Essex Junction, Vermont. They are number 204 in the WFTDA, so quite the pairing. I'm sure that we're going to be on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, 203 versus 204. Couldn't get any closer than that. I'm going to take you real quickly through the Burning River Roller Derby All-Stars roster. Number 0 is Deja Voodoo. Number 11 is Stink Flamingo. Number 14, Dottie Hit Someone. Number 146, Sarah Bellum. Number 175, Roseblood. Number 19, Ginger and Tonic. Number 210, Aphrodite. Number 28, Killer Queen. Number 4, Coco Sparks. Number 519, Wrath of Connie. Number 718, Ghost Grace Killa. Number 74, Enemy Lou Harris. Number 78, Nat. Number 8181, the co-captain Primo Donna, and the captain number 37, Brianna Ruins. Coaches are Maloik and You'll See Stars.
And we're getting set up for our first jam. I'll introduce you to Grade A Fancy shortly, but currently lining up with the star first jam of the event, number 19, Beast Infection for Grade A Fancy from Green Mountain. They are in black versus Burning River Roller Derby's All-Stars in blue. That is 37, Brianna Ruins, wearing the star and pushing the pack up front, out quickly. Brianna Ruins securing lead for Burning River.
Cover off now for Green Mountain.
And just a reminder, this is a WFTDA recognized tournament, so all of the top-notch WFTDA competition live all weekend. Through the pack now, that would be 19, Beast Infection, after a star stash. Before she can hit the back of the pack and secure snag any points, we have 4 points up for Burning River.
So that breaks. That's our first lead change of the day. Usually happens in jam number 1. Out on the jammer line now, number 369 on the black team is Snatch McCracken. And can you get that blue jammer's number?
Well, that would be 146, Sarah Bellum.
All right.
And good morning to all of our friends watching on Twitch TV. I see MBD out there from Mass Maelstrom, as well as the Derby Apex. Hi, friends. Thanks for joining us. And quickly sending number 4, Coco Sparks, to the penalty box, Burning River. Pack advantage now to Grade A Fancy. Lead acquired by 369. Snatch McCracken.
That first penalty of the game was an illegal contact.
Ah. Those are never fun. Pack keeping it slow in the backstretch. Quick call off from Vermont.
Jammers swapping 4s. And we're all tied up. Our second lead change of the game here in jam number 2. Going back to tied.
Jammers of note, that is Nat for Burning River. And number 4, Cryptic Kablam of Green Mountain.
So nobody repeating yet on the jammer line.
Pack anxiously awaiting jammers. Both caught up in strong walls, still remaining behind pivot line. Seeing some great line work coming from Burning River in the back. Meanwhile, just slightly in front of them, Green Mountain working to detain Nat. Pack extending into turn 2. And Nat able to drive them crazy enough and pick up lead for Burning River. And I just have to comment, because if you cannot see the bench staff for Burning River on camera, Maloik is rocking an awesome orange shiny cape.
Yes, a cape.
Style points right there. But 4 real points on the track for Nat.
Yep. Star pass for the black team, now wearing the stars, number 9.
That's Busty Breaker. We'll see if Busty Breaker has any success. Oh, and Nat calling it off, getting caught up. 1 additional point.
Total of 5. That's the highest jam of the game. Brings Burning River up to 9.
Brianna Ruins versus Beast Infection, we're noticing perhaps their tight jammer rotation, but we will wait and see as the game progresses. Still very early. Hope you're all having your coffee or whatever your source of caffeine is if you need it. And if you don't need it, I'm envious.
Yeah, there you go. More power to you.
Right?
Teams are at full strength.
That is a genuine awkward blocker sandwich for both jammers right now, as the pack keeping it rather static right midway between jammer and pivot line. But Burning River's jammer does bust through quickly on the inside.
So 3 out of 4 leads have gone to Burning River at this early stage of the game. It's track cut on the Burning River jammer, so this is going to be our first 2-minute jam of the game.
Brianna Ruins having a seat. Meanwhile, the back stretch, everything getting a little smushy. And yes, that is the technical term. Lots of chaos. Lots of chaos going on as Burning River reforming at the front, able to sweep back the pivot because it appears there has been a star pass to Curb Stomp, that is the captain of Green Mountain, being swept to the outside in turn 3 and drawn all the way back to the beginning of the backstretch. And Brianna Ruins back to the track, so a successful penalty kill for Burning River. Now, seeing Brianna Ruins getting caught up on number 20, that would be Seroquel XR, hoping to put those sleeper moves on Brianna Ruins, though 4 more points for Burning River. And it appears a pack penalty. It was a legal out of play block assessed to 3199. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
8181.
8181. Yeah, Primo Donna. Thank you.
No problem. The Burning River pivot picking up that illegal position penalty.
Yes, and 4 points more for Burning River. So currently at 8-4. We'll see how it finishes up.
Even more, 3 more points.
Six, and we are over the 5-minute in mark, heading into Jam 5. Also, without further delay, let's meet the skaters of Green Mountain. Roller Derby's Grade A Fancy. 19, Beast Infection. 20, Seroquel XR. 23, Fox. 29, Poison Apple. 30, Red Rover. 3199, Burn Yuli's Evasion. 32, Curb Stomp. She's captain. 369, Snatch McCracken. 4, Cryptic Kablam. 4482, Trasher D. And 76, False and Bruise. 887, Clitorisk. And 9, Busty Breaker. They're coached by Strawberry Jam and Coach Koch. And now pack is extended between turns 1 and 2.
All right, the jammers are Snatch McCracken going up against Roseblood. And a back block is called on Snatch McCracken. So this is going to be a power jam and lead jam for Roseblood. Each team with 1 jammer penalty at this point.
Roseblood going around the outside in turn 4, but getting caught up on the tripod presented from Green Mountain. Up against Poison Apple, that last line of defense, and quickly cycled back behind number 9. That's Busty Breaker. We'll see how far the pack. There we go. She breaks the pack.
So last jam, you pointed out that 11 points was the highest jam of the game. The 6 points put on the board by Green Mountain, also their highest tally of the game.
There
and it
we
was
go.
jam number 4 was the first jam where we didn't have a lead change.
Oh. Well, I'm sure that will be in short supply.
Let's hope. Lead changes are awesome.
Lead changes will keep coming. We know. And based upon what we're seeing right now, we have both jammers on the track. Snatch McCracken does exit the pack, though no points.
Yeah, got out of the box, completed the initial pass. And so that's going to get a call off. Burning River puts 2 grand slams on the board, putting them up to 28. Green Mountain sitting on 10. Got some wonderful WFTDA tournaments coming up. Let's see what's next. Looks like in addition to the Siege of New York this weekend, there's Skate to Thrill. Then also in April, we have West Track Story going on in Nantes, France, hosted by Nantes Early Girls. And Coastal Chaos going to be coming up April 26 to 28 in Rockport, Maine. Same weekend as Southern Discomfort and K-Town Shakedown. So a lot of roller derby, a lot of WFTDA recognized tournaments coming up.
And we've seen things shake up off the jammer line. Curb Stomp wearing the star for Green Mountain. had secured lead, however, picks up a cutting the track penalty. So Power Jam in favor of Emily Harris, picking up lead as she exits the pack. And the first time we've seen both of them jam in this game.
Our most excellent producer today is Giraffic Jam.
Yes, providing all of the nerdy stats for us. We appreciate you. So strong defense with a full staff on track from Green Mountain mid-back stretch. And Emily Harris working to push through, getting a little bit of offense from a friend. That would be Stink Flamingo. Though Green Mountain not ready to completely let go Enemy Lou Harris. 4 points as she exits the pack.
Penalty coming in from turn number 3. Let's see what's on. The multiplayer, Burning River losing a blocker. It's number 718, Ghost Grace Killa on the multiplayer.
Curb Stomp exits the pack after breaking free from the penalty box. We'll see if there's a call-off, and there is. So no points for Green Mountain on that jam. And a total of 7 for Burning River.
Got a team timeout. I can't see who called it. Let's look at the scoreboard.
That's Green Mountain.
That makes sense.
So should be 35 points to 10. There we go. Heading into Jam 7, but we'll take a quick moment. And I know I mentioned earlier that this is a WFTDA recognized tournament. And in case you were not familiar, the reason is, well, basically, WFTDA recognized tournament program recognizes and supports high-quality WFTDA member-hosted tournaments worldwide. So, of course, live from Rome, New York, Siege of Central New York 2019. Happy to bring that to you courtesy of Central New York Roller Derby. And, of course, New England Roller Derby Report here on Twitch TV. Make sure you're sharing that link. Tell your friends. That way they know where to catch all of the live free roller derby this weekend. So that's quality right there. While allowing for various tournament structures, the recognized tournament program establishes a consistent standard for tournament officiating and games management. That's right. We have standards at WFTDA. Yes, we do. So see the complete list, the full schedule, of course, of this year's WFTDA recognized tournaments at WFTDA.com/events. Back to gameplay. Your jammers.
We have Snatch McCracken out there for Green Mountain, and we have Brianna Ruins on the line for Burning River. And who's got lead? Burning River's got lead. That is 5 in a row, 6 of the last 7.
Burning River pivot to the penalty box.
Grade A Fancy out on the initial, so this will be a hit it and quit it, and there it goes. Let's see the points. Only 2 points picked up by Burning River there. Lowest jam where they actually put points on the board. They did get shut out one time in jam number 2.
And we know there's always an adjustment period with every matchup.
Sure.
You know, and then you start figuring out, okay, how are they going to play this?
Getting to know you.
Yes.
Getting to know all about you.
Perfect.
So number 4 on the black team, that's Cryptic Kablam. Can you see the number of that blue
Yes,
jammer?
we have 146 Sarah Bellum.
I think I asked that last time. She must bend down way low.
Well, that's just it. It all depends upon the side that you're on. But luckily, between the two of us, we can figure it out. Big drawback coming from number 28, Killer Queen on Burning River. Oh, a cutting the track penalty assessed to Cryptic Kablam, so Power Jam in favor of Burning River. Pack looking scattered in the backstretch. Green Mountain getting it together and putting the brakes on, but not enough to hold Sarah Bellum.
First lead jam of the game for Sarah Bellum. She was the only jammer who didn't get lead. Burning River picks up another penalty for a blocker, so there's 2 blockers on the track for Burning River. Vermont has their full contingent of blockers on the track, but no jammer.
And Bobby, I always find interesting to see the communication styles of different teams, specifically when you have a jammer coming around and they need some help. I noticed Burning River, they're looking for offense, so they make, instead of making it a verbal cue, they're actually making the O, like we would see in official review, as they're coming up. So you're noticing, if you see the Burning River jammers putting their hands above their heads, they're not just waving their hands like they just, what is it, throw your hands in the air like you just don't care. It's not that.
No,
it's actually an O for offense.
Offense.
Yeah, so keep an eye on that.
So, taking advantage of having a skater on the track, does offense mean you want your team at the top of the pack? You want your teammates at the top of the pack?
Well, that depends
Which
on
depends
where
on
you
what
are.
your strategy is. What
Yeah,
your
I mean,
specific team strategy
sometimes it could really just be a case of, hey, I need some offense. Get ready for a pick. Sweep them all, which we're seeing a good swarm coming from Burning River.
We have a star pass.
And that is to,
Number 20.
yes, 20. Oh, it's
Seroquel
Seroquel XR. Yes.
The captain completing the initial with the star pass, and the jam is called off. 8 more points on the board for Burning River. Let's see if that gets bumped up to 12, and it does. That is 24% of their score. Burning River sitting now at 49 points. That 12 points eclipses the 11 points put on the board in jam number 4 to become the highest jam of the game.
Thank you for all of the math, by the way. I'll be honest, it's not always my strong suit, but you are particularly great when it comes to the percentages. So setting up, while I flatter Bobby, that is Nat for Burning River and Busty Breaker for Green Mountain. And if you are just joining us, we have Green Mountain in black with green accents, Burning River in blue with orange accents.
First jam for Busty Breaker. At first lead jam for Busty Breaker. Busty's 1 for 1 on the jammer line. Calls off the jam, our first scoreless, completely scoreless jam of the game because the Burning River jammer was hot on her heels.
Yes, sometimes better to play it safe and make the call.
Well, it's only the second lead for Green Mountain since the second jam. So,
Snatch McCracken lining up with the jammer star for Green Mountain. And speaking of low jammers, that would be number 37, Brianna Ruins, all fired up, ready to roll. Both jammers in the pack. A little bit of a tumble for quite a few skaters right before the pivot line. But it is Green Mountain out first. Snatch McCracken with lead. 2
in a row. First time the grade A Fancy has gotten consecutive lead jams. And the first time the number 37, Brianna Ruins, has not got lead. She had been 3 for 3 going into this.
And Green Mountain taking the 4 points and calling it off. Some success, small gains from Snatch McCracken.
And we have a timeout, blue.
Burning River, yes.
So each team expending a timeout.
And while we have a moment, I'll introduce you to our officials crew because these folks are fantastic and they really make the Derby happen. On skates today, our referees, John Brawls, Dodge Charger. Oh, I'm sorry, I read them backwards. Off skates today, our non-skating officials, John Brawls, Dodge Charger, Fatal Exception, yours truly, E-Influenza, Kinky Linky, Drop Dead Gorgon, WEB Destroys, Stabby McNeedles, Ms. Hyde, and Kitty Stardust. Your skating referees, Wookie Mistake, that's still one of my favorite names, Chunk Rock Girl, Dirk Shearer, Weblinks, Shanksy, Doesn't Matter, Vile Lovett, and Rob Anybody.
Rob Anybody is our alt ref today, so if we get any extended official reviews or official timeouts, Rob will come over and tell us what's going on.
Thank you.
I'm about 10 minutes behind.
And I would like to say a huge thank you to New England Roller Derby Report. Chad and Lana are fantabulous, and yes, I'm going to be their hype man all weekend. Don't care. Sorry, not sorry.
There you go.
They're fantastic. You do have the opportunity, for those who have Amazon Prime out there, you can subscribe for free to Nerd Derby's channel on Twitch TV. If you haven't yet, you get that as a bonus of your Prime membership, and that helps them out. So if you like this content, make sure you like them. And lead Roseblood for Burning River.
Going up against Cryptic Kablam. Each team losing a skater to the penalty box, one on a direction of play. Forgot what the other one was, but each team with one skater in the penalty box now.
And their caped coach is almost doing a dance when they're telling them to go around again. I always get a kick out of all of the things in Derby. It's so great. Okay, so we have a blocker from Burning River, released from the box, all over the jammer for Green Mountain. Jam is called.
Get them points up.
3 points. 52-14, and we are officially past the first quarter of the game.
3 points representing 1/18th of Burning River score. Is that right? No, 1/17th.
I will take your word for it, Bobby. Seriously, I am incredibly spoiled. 2 weeks in a row, I get to work a tournament with Bobby Narco. It's pretty
Hey,
rad.
The spoil is all on my part.
Well,
First time on the jammer line for Sarah Quill XR.
yes, and let's see, we've got 74. That would be Enemy Lou Harris, which best musician name converted, in my opinion. Enemy Lou able to step ahead and snag lead, but right behind her, Sarah Quill XR.
High block coming in on the infield, called on the backstretch. That is the Burning River pivot, and the jam is called up. So the next set of whistles will start with the Burning River All-Stars pivotless.
Yes, Ghost Grace Killa.
Our second scoreless jam of the game keeps us at 52-14.
And also, I might have to say Ghost Grace Killa is a pretty good one, too, because Wu-Tang is for the children, y'all. So Snatch McCracken setting up against, let's see, that is a familiar Brianna Ruins, if I can find the words.
I trust you. I believe in you.
I know. Yes, Sarah Quill XR, that's right. Full Moon Scout out there on Twitch. Also, someone else saying hi, Chewy. So we got all the folks in the chat. Thank you for that. Grade A Fancy with lead. And Pax still in turn one, but full of chaos. Green Mountain really able to burn the clock down.
Is that High Chewy going out to Chew Rakia? Because I was told by Burning River to give a special shout out to Chew Rakia, who just might be listening along at home.
I think so. And I also heard that the Hazmat crew will be cheering on Burning River's All-Stars. So, hey there. Good to have you here.
So, second time Burning River has been held scoreless. Makes the score 52-18 in favor of Burning River. Number 369 is now 3 out of 5 for Green Mountain.
Jammers of note for Burning River. That's Killer Queen. Is that the first time we've seen Killer Queen jamming?
It is.
Okay, and Curb Stomp back at it for Grade A Fancy. And strong, a full line of 4 blockers working on Curb Stomp. Meanwhile, out in front, Killer Queen securing lead pretty quickly. Pack in the back stretch. Burning River at the back. They've been able to goad it. And there's a quick call off from Killer Queen. 2 points.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, are we again scoreless?
We're getting the bullhorns.
And now this is a true 3-1 margin. 18 times 3 is 54.
You know what? I would take a math class if you taught it. No, I mean it. I mean it.
You're a CPA.
I am not a CPA.
Yet.
We'll see. Bobby knows I've been talking about taking a long accounting class, but Derby numbers are far more interesting. So 78, that would be Nat back at it. Who do we have for Green Mountain? Beast Infection, right? Beast Infection,
number 19, yes. So just looking real quickly, Green Mountain's put 6 jammers out there. And so is Burning River. Each team working at 6 different jammers. That's another lead for Burning River. They've gone back-to-back again.
And Ghost Grace Killa & Co. did a drawback on Beast Infection into turn 1, but it looks like that may have forced a star pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Black. Oh, track cut called on the jammer, so this is going to be our second 2-minute jam of the game.
Oh, and that star pass was to number 20, Sarah Quill XR.
Second time Sarah Quill has picked up the star.
If I remember correctly, Sarah Quill XR is a pretty great utility player for Green Mountain. I do recall seeing the team, I believe last year at Coastal Chaos. 4 points up for Grade A Fancy. Static pack right around the jammer line.
Penalty coming in.
Nat being released from the penalty box, so both jammers on track. Number 23, Fox, having a seat in the penalty box for a direction and gameplay penalty. Add 4 for Burning River.
Team swapping 4s, neither one can stop it. 20-some seconds left to play.
And I do believe this is the first jam where Green Mountain has outscored Burning River, because
since jam number 2.
Right.
Jam number 2 was a 4-0 in
Oh,
favor of Green
4-0.
Mountain to bring us back to tied.
Ah, well.
Well, there goes that.
Oh, no.
Not
See?
necessarily. Wait for it.
Announcer curse, what? Okay, so we'll see the final tallies in a second. Oh, it was a 12-11 jam in favor of Burning River, very close. So taking Burning River to 66 over Green Mountain's 29. And we have just about 9 minutes remaining in the period, and a big hit coming from, I believe that was Primo Donna on the apex against the Green Mountain Jammer. Thank you for that replay.
So both teams putting their highest tally on the board. Burning River matching the 12 they put up in jam number 8, but that 11 points representing nearly a third of Green Mountain's score. Out on the jammer line now, number 37 for Burning River. Picking up lead is Brianna Ruins. That's 3 in a row now for Burning River.
Speedy Pack in comparison to prior jams. Quicker call off. A total of 3 points for Burning River, 69-29.
You are listening to the Siege of Central New York on Nerd Derby on Twitch TV.
And that is live from Rome, New York, here at the Siege of Central New York.
The JFK Arena.
Yes. And on the track right now, jammers of note, Curb Stomp for Green Mountain, but it is Roseblood from Burning River, securing lead. But meanwhile, chaos in the pack, courtesy of Burning River's defense. Curb Stomp does break free, but it takes just about 15 to 17 seconds.
Giraffic Jam points out that Roseblood is 3 for 3 on the jammer line. Picks up all 4 points and calls off the jam. Death by 1,000 cuts until you get that 12-point jam, and then that's
right?
several cuts at once. Black Jammer wearing number 4, that is Cryptic Kablam. And Blue Jammer wearing number 74, that is Enemy Lou Harris.
Full complement of blockers on the track.
Here we go.
Off to a slow start because both teams' defense putting the brakes on. Pack only at jammer line. Pivot line.
Creeping up to turn number 2 now, the narrowest point of the track. Or one of the 2 narrow points of the track. Lead Blue, that is 5 in a row. And
Pack keeping it in turn 2 right now with a drawback against Cryptic Kablam.
Harris also 3 for 3 from the jammer line.
Again, incredibly slow moving, but lots of lateral motion in the back stretch.
Penalty coming in.
Green Mountain at the front with their defense.
Illegal contact on Cryptic Kablam. So this is a power jam.
Oh, and that's exactly why Green Mountain's defense is being so
Oh,
vigilant.
double power jam. Back block called. Lead is lost. Our third 2-minute jam of the game.
And that quick switcheroo.
Jam timer getting a workout. Who's on jam timer?
I don't have the set of positions, but
Okay. Is it yours truly? I think it is.
yes, yours truly.
Wearing the whistle out there.
But she looks so calm.
Right?
Calm and focused. That's exactly what many officials have that some of us do not. So we appreciate it. And there has been a star pass to Rad Rover on Green Mountain, who has broken the pack. Oh, and Enemy Lou Harris swept to the inside right after jammer line and back into turn 4.
So back at full strength with 7 seconds left to play.
Rad Rover also swept back. Really a grudge match within the pack.
4-4.
78-33 in favor of Burning River. We have under 4 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the period. That's how quick the gameplay has gone. Just so much happening out there.
Indeed, we've barely got a chance to thank our sponsors, but we would like to thank the Women's Flat Track Derby Association for sure. On the line, number 37 on the blue team, that is Brianna Ruins going up against Bernoulli's Evasion.
Yes.
First jam for number 3199.
Okay, lead quickly secured by Burning River. Bernoulli's Evasion right on the tail of Brianna Ruins. So we'll see, the speed is a factor here. We have 2 blockers to the box for Green Mountain. So the pack advantage really working to Burning River's favor. 2 points up for Green Mountain, 4 for Burning River.
Reading the hand signals from the NSOs on the infield, it looks like both of those blockers were sent off for illegal position.
Oh, thank you for that. So 82 to 35 in favor of Burning River right now. And we have an official timeout.
Oh, good.
Oh, no, it is an official review from Burning River.
All right.
Likely
so our
from
alt
that.
ref Rob anybody will let us know, and then we'll let you know as soon as we know. But talk about some more of these tournaments. Already we've had Lobster Roll up in Wilmington, Massachusetts. That was hosted by Boston. Then we had Clover Cup out of North Richland Hills, hosted by Dallas Derby Devils. The last weekend of March, there was Dust Devil, the one that started it all, March 29th to 31st. That was out in Tucson, hosted by Tucson Roller Derby. And then going on simultaneously with this tournament, Euro Cup out in Bury, England. That's hosted by Rainy City. Skate to Thrill taking place in St. Charles, Missouri, hosted by the St. Chuck's Derby Chicks. And then next weekend, told you a little bit about West Track Story, Coastal Chaos, and Southern Discomfort coming up.
Yes, and speaking of what's coming up, I know that we have lots more happening here at Siege of Central New York this weekend. So this is our 9 o'clock game, of course, kicking it off with Burning River and Green Mountain. Around 11 a.m., we will have Central New York's All-Stars versus Jersey Shore. At 1 p.m., Appalachian versus Providence Roller Derby. 3 p.m., Antwerp versus Brew City. And Burning River will be back at 5 p.m. to face off against Jersey Shore. And 7 p.m., we'll close out day 1 with Central New York versus Green Mountain. So, both Green Mountain and Burning River able to get in a few games today. And, of course, tomorrow we have a 1 whole day more of a live roller derby here from Siege of Central New York.
So Burning River wanted a back block called on the Vermont Jammer, but on the Green Mountain Jammer, but after further review, the no call stands. And we are back on the track. Can you take us out there?
Yes, so this not a power start. The Jammer was hidden. Sarah Bellum securing lead for Burning River up against Sarah Quill XR.
Sarah versus Sarah. Sarah Bellum versus Sarah Quill. Sarah Quill, sorry. And Bellum hits it and quits it. 4 points on the board brings Burning River up to 86.
It was also brought to my attention, thanks to Churakia out there on Twitch chat, that it is Sarah Bellum's 28th birthday today.
Oh, nice.
So happy birthday, Sarah Bellum of Burning River.
Many happy returns.
Yes. Okay, so 3199, that's Bernoulli's Evasion wearing the star once more for Green Mountain, but it is Burning River's Brianna Ruins securing lead only maybe 5 seconds in. But Pack keeping it close between Jammer and pivot lines, and Brianna Ruins goes sweeping out, but right back in with that fire. Dropped in the turn 1 apex at cutting the track penalty.
Who's leaving?
Assessed to Bernoulli's Evasion.
That's the Jammer. Direction of play penalty coming in. Vermont losing, Green Mountain losing a blocker. That's number 32. Curb stomp on the direction of play.
But despite the thud that we heard in the venue from that hit sustained by Brianna Ruins, she's back up and pushing through in the backstretch. Driven to the infield.
Dottie hit someone, has failed to reform, and is headed to the penalty box.
4 points up for Burning River.
So number 37, Brianna Ruins, a 3 for 5 on the Jammer line. That's a 60% lead rate.
Both Jammers back to the track.
Multiplayer block coming in. The grade A Fancy going to be losing their pivot. getting a second penalty for a misconduct. So
Ooh.
sitting a full minute in the penalty box.
That's number 9, Busty Breaker. It is a jammer foot race right now. And the jam is called.
8 more points brings Burning River up to 94. Flirting
Oh.
with the century mark.
10-2.
Ooh, how about that?
Because we had a couple of late points, saw the bullhorns out there. So
For it.
96 Burning River, 37 Green Mountain. It appears we're nearing the end of the period. And I say nearing, and you know why. So 3-6-9. That is Snatch McCracken back with the star for Green Mountain's Grade A Fancy. Up against Sarah Bellum, the birthday celebrator today. And I believe Sarah Bellum will be quite happy if Burning River continues with the scoring streak.
All I want is a win. That's all I want for my birthday is a win.
That's it. And spinning to the inside, that is Sarah Bellum, though picking up a cutting the track penalty. So power jam and lead in favor of Snatch McCracken and Grade A Fancy.
That is just the tonic that they needed.
This is the gin for later, if that's their thing.
Burning River blocker was being told to come back to the track.
Primo Donna off to the penalty box. It's currently a 3-2 pack in favor of Burning River. The wet jams end. Green Mountain's pivot does return.
It will be halftime. Let's get those final points coming in.
Okay, we have an official timeout.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see what that's about before we jump to halftime. One never knows. All of a sudden we see the light go off on the scoreboard. And our jam timer just yes, yours truly out there while we have a conference in the infield. And a huge thank you to Central New York Roller Derby for hosting us here at Siege of CNY 2019. They're fantabulous hosts.
Yeah, fabulous venue out here. It's my first time visiting, but I'm really loving the city of Troy and this particular venue. Going to be a great
Rome,
weekend.
As we like to say, when in Rome.
Did I say Troy?
You said Troy.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You
And by
passed
Troy, I mean Rome.
You passed Troy on the way here, and there was the Trojan horse. However, we are in Rome.
Yes, and when in Rome.
Yes, I know. I love it. And that is, I think we've upped the count now to 3 or 4.
Sure, yeah.
At least on broadcast. And I was the dork who officially broke that in our announcer meeting. But it does appear we have arrived officially at halftime. We'll be back in just under 10 minutes with the conclusion of Burning River Roller Derby's All-Stars versus Green Mountain's Grade A Fancy.
This is the Siege of Central New York coming out of Rome, New York. We have a matchup between the Burning River Roller Derby All-Stars and the Green Mountain Roller Derby Grade A Fancy. Just some stats. Burning River's got lead jam 17 times. Green Mountain has had lead jam 5 times. Burning River has not passed the star. Green Mountain has passed the star a total of 5 times. Green Mountain's jammers have gone to the penalty box 5 times. Burning River's jammers have gone to the penalty box 3 times. There have been 3 2-minute jams, all from those jammers going to the penalty box. Jams number 4, 15, and 16. There have not been any jams without a lead. In terms of lead jammer percentages, Sarah Bellum's 3 for 5, Roseblood's 3 for 3, Killer Queen is 1 for 1, Brianna Ruins is 5 for 7, Enemy Lewis Harris is 3 for 3, and Nat is 2 for 3. Turning over now to the Grade A Fancy Jammers, Beast Infection is 0 for 3, Sarah Quill is 0 for 1, Bernoulli's Evasion is 0 for 2, Curb Stomp 0 for 3, Snatch McCracken 4 for 7, Cryptic Kablam is 0 for 4, and Busty Breaker is 1 for 1. Highest scorer for Green Mountain with 16 points is Snatch McCracken, and highest point scorer for Burning River, a tie between Sarah Bellum and Brianna Ruins, each with 23. Thank you very much to Giraffic Jam for those fantastic stats and percentages.
Yes, we are very happy to have a producer providing us with all of the good info. And
also glad to have Chad and Lana from Nerd Derby here on Twitch TV. They are hooking us up all weekend long.
Indeed, they are bringing high quality coverage of Siege of Central New York 2019 live from Rome. And of course, it is a WFTDA recognized tournament. So great to be able to foster the growth of Derby broadcast in the community.
Yeah, they allow for various tournament structures, but the recognized tournament program establishes a consistent standard for tournament officiating and game management.
Now, I know we mentioned that it's Sarah Bellum's birthday today, but it's great because we were able to get some fun little nuggets of knowledge about some of the team's skaters. And I don't know if you know this, but Sarah Bellum is also a math teacher. So that's kind of fun. You know, she'd be right up there with the Derby math. But lead in our first jam of period 2 is Snatch McCracken of the Grade A Fancy.
Yeah, starting from the penalty box for Burning River, that's number 146, Sarah Bellum, but Sarah Bellum back out on the track now.
Ready to add to her point tally. Pack keeping it a little slow and then catching Snatch McCracken at the front, if only for a few seconds. 4 points for Green Mountain. Not far behind, Sarah Bellum makes it through on the initial.
Sarah Bellum hits those hands on the hips, does not pick up any more points. Thought they might try and pick off 1 or 2 at the back, but no.
Well, Sarah Bellum was right there, so
Yep.
she did what she could by forcing the call off.
Valor, the better part of discretion there.
Yes. And Brianna Ruins back with the star for Burning River up against Bernoulli's Evasion. And just something to note, Brianna Ruins, not only is she the team captain, she used to be a licensed boat captain.
Oh.
So many captains' hats, no matter how
there.
fashionable they may be. In the back of the pack, Bernoulli's Evasion taken to the outside and driven back to the jammer line, but lead going to Brianna Ruins.
Grade A
and Burning
Fancy
River.
losing a blocker on a forearm.
Bernoulli's Evasion still working the back of the pack, being taken to the lines by Burning River. Meanwhile, 4 more points for Brianna Ruins.
That initial just completed by Bernoulli's. Slippery part, ghost blocker in turn number 4. With the jammer takeout.
And I know you said it before the end of period 1, how Burning River was nearing the century mark. Well, it's official. They have passed it.
They are now up over it.
Yes. 8 points from Brianna Ruins takes them to 104 to Green Mountain's 45.
I was just about to say 10 times 10, but then another 4 points
Yes.
came in. Ruined my squares.
And that way you can keep your reputation of having good math, quality math. Okay, jammers of note. That is Curb Stomp.
And Sarah Bellum.
Yes, each for their respective teams. So, of course, if you are just joining us halfway in, Burning River is in blue. Grade A Fancy from Green Mountain is in black. Lead acquired by Sarah Bellum. And you can see her waving her hands in the air to emphasize her blockers should be moving forward. But the jam is called. As we know, things don't always go according to plan. 3 points for Burning River.
Burning River named for a environmental condition that happened where the river outside of Cleveland, Ohio actually caught fire.
Really?
Water catching fire.
I did not know that.
Grade A Fancy named for maple syrup.
Obviously. Well, I mean, maple syrup, come on, you want the best kind.
Fancy.
Fancy.
You don't even know.
All right, so number 78, Nat, jamming for Burning River, but a lead quickly acquired by Bernoulli's Evasion of Grade A Fancy.
First time Bernoulli's picked up lead. Giraffic Jam points out for us.
Thank you. And a smushy pack between turns 1 and 2. The emphasis from the bench to call off the jam.
And a single point awarded.
Oh, this year is 50th anniversary of the Burning River event.
Ah, how about that?
Yeah, Churakia hooked us up with that one. Thank you.
Thanks, Chewy.
Yes. Okay, full complement of blockers on the track. And both jammers to boot. How about that? Okay, number 20. That is Seroquel XR wearing the star for Green Mountain up against Brianna Ruins of Burning River. And a little bit of a thrill and spill between turns 1 and 2, but Seroquel XR able to get about an eighth of a lap ahead of Brianna Ruins.
Also first lead.
First
for
lead.
Sarah Quell.
Okay, Speedy Pack trying to save their points.
1 point picked up by Green Mountain.
Small gains, big impact.
107 to 46, heading into jam number 6 here at the Siege of Central New York. 369 out on the jammer line. That is Snatch McCracken for Grade A Fancy. And who's up there for the All-Stars?
Well, that would be a 175.
First jam of the half for number 175.
Yes, Roseblood.
3 for 3 in the first half with 12 points. Look at this, 3 lead jams in a row.
Snatch
I
McCracken.
believe that is the first time that Green Mountain has strung 3 leads in a row.
Pack picking up a little speed as Roseblood trying to break through that last line of defense from Green Mountain. But it is number 23, Fox, who takes her down. Quickly cycled by number 9, Busty Breaker. Direction to gameplay
There's
call.
a failure to reform, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On the Vermont pivot.
Green
Mountain pivot.
I misread your hand signals. See, the great thing is Bobby does hand signals, and out of the corner of my eye, while trying to read, I can't look at 2 things at once. I need to realize this. 4 points for Green Mountain on that last jam. 51 for Green Mountain, 107 for Burning River. Jam 7 is upon us.
Burning River held scoreless 3 jams in a row.
Wow. And that's huge because that had not happened in period 1.
It had not.
No.
Burning River wasn't even held scoreless 2 jams in a row. Actually, they were. Jams 9 and 10. Only held scoreless 2 jams in a row once.
Enemy Lou Harris for Burning River up against Bernoulli's Evasion. Sorry, I almost said invasion. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right.
I want to say principal. I always want to say Bernoulli's principal.
How about this? Bernoulli.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Bernoulli's.
Bernoulli's
is out there getting swept to the outside line. And we have enemy Lou Harris securing lead. And now just lapping Bernoulli's Evasion.
Which used to be worth a point, but not anymore.
No, bye-bye jammer lap points. I think it has added a new dimension of excitement to gameplay. Yes, there has been a star pass for Green Mountain. Busty Breaker now with the star atop her helmet. However, no points yielded as the jam is called. And there were 4 for Burning River.
I believe I saw 4. Scoreboard hasn't.
Yes. That's the great thing. We actually have a nice view of the track from where we are.
There it is. And look at that.
Yes.
4 points makes it 111 to 51. Aces are wild on the scoreboard. 4 aces with a 5 kicker.
You're going to have to teach me how to play poker one of these days.
And we have an official timeout on the track. We want to make sure that all the points are counted, all the penalties are counted, and that the time is accurate.
Yes. Got to make sure because we got to keep it profesh, or as I like to say, professionally amateur. Okay. And I was taking a quick look. I know that we saw some love shown for Primo Donna in the chat. Apparently, Primo Donna loves horses and goes riding in her spare time. So that's a fun activity in contrast to roller derby.
Yeah.
But still involving a lot of movement instead of letting the wheels carry her.
Sure.
And equine does.
Swapping one vehicle for another?
Exactly.
Does a horse count as a vehicle?
No.
Okay.
No, but also
too sentient.
As far as other animal lovers on the team, Rathacani rescues retired racing greyhounds. So that's kind of neat. That's a big deal.
Out on the track, number 37 going up against number 32. That's Brianna Ruins up against Curb Stomp. Captain versus captain.
Yes. Curb Stomp getting caught up in a strong defense from Burning River, sweeping her to the lines. Lead acquired by Brianna Ruins.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall during the halftime of Green Mountain, see what happened, because they came out with a vengeance. Star has been passed for Green Mountain to number 20.
I have a theory. maple syrup shots.
There you go.
Yeah.
That could do it. A little shock of sugar.
Well, of course, this is a cliche, and it's all Super Troopers' fault. But, they had a syrup chugging contest. I just think maybe a shot or two of the grade A fancy maple syrup. Who knows?
I'll buy it. I'll believe it.
And Buddy the Elf does say that syrup is a food group. Okay. Our jammers of note, 369 Snatch McCracken for grade A fancy versus a 146 Sarabellum. We've seen these two quite a bit in period 2.
So one thing I've noticed, there's kind of an interesting, it's not really a rotation. You'll jam every other, and then you'll sit out for 5 or 6, and then you'll jam every other, and then you'll sit out for 5 or 6. That's a great way to, at least in my mind, keep your jammers fresh, but also still let them build on some momentum.
Exactly. And lead acquired by Snatch McCracken.
She's 3 for 3 this half. Giraffe points out for us.
Thank you, Giraffe. And Pack keeping it slow in turn 3. There's a drawback coming from Burning River to the mid-back stretch on Green Mountain's jammer, but 3 points still, 3-0 for Green Mountain. 115 Burning River, 54 Green Mountain.
Spoils the full house before I had a chance to say it. 115 to 51, but that was one jam ago. That's old news, Bobby.
How dare they?
Meanwhile, out on the track, number 78 is Nat. Number 3199 is Bernoulli's Evasion. Penalty box is empty. Here we go.
Also, I hear that Primo Donna is a graceful unicorn everywhere.
Oh.
So maybe that ties in with the whole, horse riding thing. Unicorns. Okay. Back to what we see. Nat getting swept to the outside, but gets right back in the mix up the middle, pushing things in the front in turn 1. And Bernoulli's caught in the back, stashes the star.
Lead is going to Nat. Star's been passed.
Aha. To Curb Stomp, number 32 on Green Mountain.
Green Mountain not afraid to pass the star. They did it 5 times in the first half. They've already done it 3 times in this half, and they're not all going to the same person. In fact, most of them have gone to different people. The only person who's got it twice is number 30. Actually, 32 now has got it twice as well.
Curb Stomp.
4 points on the board for Burning River brings them up to 119. Green Mountain sitting on 54. Roughly a 3-1 margin. 9 on the black team is Busty Breaker. And 37 on the blue team is Brianna Ruins.
And a nice empty penalty box at the moment.
Forearm
but it
coming
appears forearm for Green Mountain.
Who's
Yes.
Number
for
20.
Number 20. That would be Seroquel XR. Pat keeping it nice and close as it moves into turn 2, but springing out of the commotion, Brianna Ruins lead to her credit.
That's 3 in a row, 4 out of the last 5. 2 in a row, 4 out of the last 5.
Busty Breaker out, about a half lap behind Brianna Ruins.
Oh, nice move on the inside, getting around turn number 4 and calling off the jam. Kind of slipped in there.
Yeah, check that out. We have a nice replay here.
How about that?
A zig, a zag, and then right over the apex.
And the scoreboard shows 1, 2, 3, 5, 4.
Oh, that never happens.
It's almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I know, but it's kind of fun.
It's still a straight, either way you play it.
Yeah.
3-6-9 on the black team. That is
Snatch
McCracken.
And you know how I remember that? I will just credit.
Tell me.
I will credit Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. The song "Get Low," because of the number, and then I go, oh yeah, Snatch McCracken. I don't know. The number is easy to remember. But back to the track, Snatch McCracken on the scoring pass, hitting the back of the pack as it moves to the back stretch.
Yeah, she's 4 for 4 from the jammer line. Burning River losing their pivot on a direction of play violation.
Roseblood stashed the star in order to exit, and it appears that Green Mountain got wise to the approach of the opposing jammer, called it off. 4 points for Green Mountain, taking them to 58, Burning River 123.
on the jammer line now. Number 74 on the blue team is Enemy Lou Harris.
Yes.
And number 32 on the black team is Curb Stomp.
Curb Stomp taking some space from the jammer line all the way back to turn 4. Perhaps to give a broader view of things.
Or a running start.
Yeah, but there wasn't much acceleration. But we do see Curb Stomp pushing it out in the front. So her approach worked. Lead to Green Mountain's credit. Meanwhile, Burning River still working.
They lost a blocker as well on a multiplayer.
Add 4 for Green Mountain and Curb Stomp.
First lead for Curb Stomp. Forearm penalty coming in. Who's leaving? That's a Burning River blocker. Number 00, Deja Voodoo. And 4 more points. This is the first time this period that Green Mountain has made multiple scoring passes.
Oh, and it's the skating unicorn Primo Donna pivot for Burning River, accepting the star pass. We'll see if her emergence yielded any points. None for Burning River on that. 4 more points for Green Mountain.
Wow, a total of a dozen.
Taking them to 70 to Burning River's 123. How many jams? Oh, it was just 2 in a row for Burning River that were held scoreless, or no?
Yeah, 2 in a row.
Yes, okay, 2 in a row. Bernoulli's Evasion lining up for Green Mountain up against Brianna Ruins. So we are noticing Burning River utilizing a tighter jammer rotation versus what you had said is the, the resting strategy from Green Mountain.
You do a few back, not back to back, but every other jam, and then you'll get a long time to sit down and recharge. Maybe play some work in the pack, maybe don the pivot cover.
Bernoulli's Evasion securing lead. Brianna Ruins about.
Second time this game, Green Mountain's had lead 3 in a row.
And I don't know if you noticed, Bobby. I caught it because I happened to be looking at the bench coach from Green Mountain. But a few skaters on Green Mountain have water bottles that are maple syrup jugs.
Nice. I did not see it at all.
I told you syrup shots, man.
We
syrup
have a
shots.
power jump going on right now.
Brianna Ruins around the outside. 4 points up.
So this will be a 2-minute jam. I did not see the call that sent that Burning River, that sent the Grade A Fancy Jammer to the penalty box.
Now Burning River had set up for the 3-and-1 pick to sweep the Green Mountain defense, but quickly had to reform because Bernoulli's Evasion returning to the track. Both jammers stuck in the pack at current. Green Mountain's defense at the front.
Nice hit by number 29 on the black team. That's Poison Apple.
Yeah, Poison Apple, known to dole out quite a few hard hits.
Black 3-0 stop block. You can hear it all the way from here.
Well, nice, clear communication.
Rad Rover on that stop block.
Burning River's braced 2-wall in the back, really putting the brakes on the Green Mountain Jammer. 4 points up for Burning River.
Wow, 12 points on the board brings them up to 135. And 3 for Green Mountain makes them at 73. Timeout blue.
We're now in the last quarter of the game. We'll see what happens here. Sometimes you just need to take a breath and focus. It's always helpful.
So all these recognized tournaments are leading up to the WFTDA postseason. We're going to have some Continental Cups. There's the Continental Cup North America West. That's August 9th to 11th in Orem, Utah, hosted by the Happy Valley Derby Darlings. Then there's the North American East Continental Cup on August 23rd to 25th in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, hosted by Dutchland Derby Rollers. And then the other Continental Cup is going to be October 5th to 6th in Europe in Helsinki, Finland, hosted by Kallio Ruling Rainbow.
Very
and then we have the playoffs themselves. You want to take us through those, man?
So the playoffs. September 6th through 8th, the International WFTDA Playoffs will be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, hosted by Greensboro Roller Derby. And September 13th to 15th in Seattle, Washington, hosted by Rat City Roller Derby. And then, of course, the International WFTDA Championships. I do believe the first time being hosted outside of the U.S., November 15th to 17th at Montreal, Quebec, Canada, by Montreal Roller Derby.
Should be a great time.
Your jammers of note, Seroquel XR with the star for Green Mountain, up against Cerebellum from Burning River. And in the back of the pack, the Burning River defense, a total of 4 were really putting in work on Seroquel XR. They are able to pull an illegal contact penalty on her, so she's having a seat in the box. Power jam in favor of Burning River.
Nice hit at the top of the pack, but Burning River Jammer does not have to retreat very far to re-engage.
Curb stomp with the one-on-one shoulder dance blocking, just really able to work the clock burn against Cerebellum.
Oh, big hit by the pivot. Wow. Great job by Cerebellum just weathering those hits. 4 more points. Another 7 points will yield us a true 2-1 margin. Green Mountain's Jammer back out of the penalty box. Both teams back to full strength.
Cerebellum able to get through the pack for 4 points. Calls it off.
Cerebellum using her cerebellum.
Yes, let's take a look. Chad's rolling the replay. We may have the hit coming from curb stomp, but we'll see what we can do. Oh, yeah.
Screened out of the action.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll get one right in front of us next time. Then we get the front row seat. As long as, the barrier keeps us separate, we're good. Snatch McCracken with the star for Green Mountain up against Nat of Burning River. Full staff of blockers on track.
High block coming in. Who's leaving on the high block? Lead jam to Green Mountain. It's the Burning River pivot. Oh, look at that. 5 for 5 on the jammer line. The highlight of the game was Snatch McCracken for the grade A fancy.
And yes, Primo Donna, the pivot for Burning River, having a seat. 4 points up for Snatch McCracken. A cutting the track penalty assessed to Nat. So power jam in favor of grade A fancy. In the backstretch, pack tentatively awaiting Snatch McCracken's arrival. 4 points up.
Ooh, look at this. We have 12 times 12 against 9 times 9 right now.
Just about, yeah.
12 squared versus 9 squared, but not anymore. 4 more points on the board for Green Mountain. This will be the highest jam of the game for Green Mountain. It's, in fact, in terms of individual jams, ties the highest jam of the game for any team, and now surpasses it.
And pack advantage at current for Green Mountain, so exceptionally helpful as Snatch McCracken coming through on the power jam. Now power jam is over. Nat back to the track, hitting the floor in turn 1, but right back up, coming up against Curb Stomp and Co. And the brakes are on in the pack. With both Snatch McCracken being drawn back, and now we have Nat through.
I'm hearing whistles. Somebody's leaving. It's the Vermont pivot at the very end of play. So Vermont going to start the next set of whistles without a pivot. But 17 points on the board. That is 1/5 of Green Mountain's score right there.
Sometimes a small price to pay for those points, right?
Yeah. Highest
I
individual jam of the game for either team, 17 points.
So 143-90 in favor of Burning River. Under 10 minutes to go.
Out on the jammer line, number 37 is Brianna Ruins, and number 3199 is Bernoulli's Evasion.
Yes, and we see Bernoulli's Evasion stashing the star because not lead, so sticking to the familiar strategy, but lead was secured by Brianna Ruins. Cutting the track penalty assessed, I do believe, let's see, we have number 14, that's Dottie Hit Someone.
The Burning River pivot. So Burning River will start the next set of whistles pivotless, but gets the points.
Yes, and That name is direct to the point, and no one should have any questions about what Dottie is about to do.
Dottie, hit someone.
Dottie, hit someone.
Anyone.
Love it. All right, setting on up. Busty Breaker is back with the star for Grade A Fancy. And a 175 Roseblood. I was want to yell, Roseblood! Like Rosebud.
Right. You have to whisper it, right? Roseblood.
Roseblood. It's a little creepy.
Roseblood hasn't jammed since jam number 12, but out there picking up lead right now. They're back to their thing where, you jam a couple times and then you sit half a dozen jams out.
Oh, plain old Jim on the Twitch chat. Thank you. See, Bobby has all the numbers, and so does Giraffe, and I am grateful for them, same as you. Thanks for the feedback. We appreciate it.
Indeed. Let's see, 3 points picked up there by Burning River, brings them up to 150. Ooh, we could do some math here. 15 to 9, that's going to reduce to a 5 to 3 margin using 30 as the common denominator.
Nerd alert. That's right, Nerd Derby alert.
Heck yeah.
Brianna Ruins with the star, of course, familiar presence up against Bernoulli's Evasion, and full staff on the track. So up and Adam out through the pack. Brianna Ruins, no surprise, going straight up the middle. And Bernoulli's Evasion caught in the pack, though the pack getting speedy, headed straight for that back stretch. A strong shoulder from number 28, Killer Queen, living up to the name, drawing back Bernoulli's Evasion.
Busty Breaker heading to the penalty box, so Green Mountain going to be down one blocker.
And Bobby, Killer Queen actually played in the first siege in 2015.
Oh.
So a returning skater on this. And I do apologize because earlier I know we were chatting and I said, I think first one must have been 14. No, it was 15. And Burning River went 6-0 that year.
Great year for Burning River.
Yes.
An auspicious beginning for Burning River this year.
Mm-hmm.
8 points put on the board. Any sneaky points? There were some sneaky points. Green Mountain is able to pick up 2 sneaky points. So a dozen for Burning River brings them up to 162. And 2 on the board for Green Mountain brings them up to 92. And we have an official review requested by Burning River.
Made 2 puzzles off, Mike. Sorry, we had some chord confusion here on our broadcast table.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
Actually, nothing bad, but had a pile of stuff. And Chad, trying to be slick and get the cord out of the way, but it happens.
Yeah, I tried to be as tactful as possible, but it was not working out for me at all.
Hey. It was a test, too. Can Banshee multitask?
Yeah.
And the answer to that was sorta?
We almost got completely wrapped up in the cord. It would have shut everything down.
Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, yeah, wow. So that 70-point differential currently with under 6 minutes to go. And I know that everyone has been talking about the fact that we have broadcasts. Please share the link for New England Roller Derby Report's Twitch TV channel so that way your friends will know where to catch all of the live action broadcasts for free here at Siege of Central New York 2019. We'd love to have you with us all weekend, so make sure you're sharing those links. And did you know that the WFTDA is also on Twitch? They have Watch Party Wednesdays where they air content from the 2018 postseason every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the WFTDA's Twitch channel. So you can give them a follow as well.
So, Rob, our alternate ref has skated over and told us what the official review was. Green Mountain was looking for more points, and they did not get them. So Green Mountain will not retain their official review. No full muffin for anybody. Stop block called on the jammer, so it's a power jam and lead jam for Burning River.
Roseblood back at it. And we had the 3-1 setup going for the offense for Roseblood, but looks like she's pushing it out. They're going a little passive and fighting it out against Seroquel XR and company. Oh, Poison Apple at the front of the pack. Cycled back, mid-back stretch. And Burning River chipping in some O. but anxiously awaiting the arrival of Curb Stomp returning from the penalty box. A forearm call is made. That is on Green Mountain's number 9, Busty Breaker. Roseblood driven to the inside at turn 4. Curb Stomp is out on the initial. Jam is called by Roseblood, though nothing is happening. Let's see. Okay, delayed call off. It appears perhaps the hips were not being touched at the time, so that's why the initial signal was not processed. A 4-1 jam in favor of Burning River, 166 to Green Mountain's 93.
One of those rare jams where both teams put points on the board. Number 175 has been lead 2/3 of the time. Roseblood 4 out of 6 on the jammer line. On the track right now, number 3199 is 2 for 9, and number 74 is 4 for 5. 74 is enemy Lou Harris, and Bernoulli's Evasion is 3199.
Lead acquired.
Who's got it? That's
by
Burning River.
Burning River, yes. Enemy Lou Harris, but not far behind Bernoulli's Evasion.
Burning River losing a blocker on an illegal position. That's number 210, Aphrodite.
Okay.
Deuces. Each team picking up 2.
Huh. Under 3.5 minutes remain, so we have Burning River 168, Green Mountain 95.
22 jams in the first half. We're already in jam number 22 of the second half, and we've still got 3 minutes and change left to go. Giraffic Jam points out that these are both teams' most successful jammers.
That's right, Snatch McCracken for Green Mountain versus Brianna Rowans, who walks away with lead pretty quickly for Burning River. Pat keeping it slow in turn 2. Green Mountain catching Brianna Rowans in the front. We'll see if any points were yielded. Oh, we have a total of 3 for Burning River, 0 for Green Mountain.
Thanks. So 171 to 95.
Roseblood versus Bernoulli's Evasion. Familiar pairing.
Yeah,
set up on the
Bernoulli's
jammer
has
line.
been out there 4 times in the last 7 jams.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cerebellum, not Roseblood.
And, yeah. 146 hasn't donned the star since jam number 15. So good fresh legs there.
Aphrodite back to the track from the penalty box. So full staff of blockers on track.
And then a whistle blew. Was that the lead whistle?
That was the lead whistle. Also, perhaps
no, that
a
was
penalty.
A track cut. Yeah, someone's
okay.
leaving on a track cut.
Well, there were a couple things happening.
Oh, and it's the jammer. It's Bernoulli's on the track cut. So this is a lead and a power jam. 4 lead jams in a row for Burning River and 6 of the last 7.
Cerebellum getting caught up in the brace 2 wall, however, able to spin out of it in turn 4, adding 4 points. Pack anxiously awaiting Cerebellum's arrival.
Nice job by number 4 on the blue team, Coco Sparks, playing the wrecking ball, opening up a channel for Cerebellum to get through.
Killer Queen with a hard shoulder hits. And Burning River has a goat in 23, that's Fox. Bernoulli's Evasion returns to the track. We had a a direction gameplay penalty.
Yeah, Burning River losing,
Green Mountain.
Green Mountain losing a blocker. Now Green Mountain losing a pivot on the forearm.
Curb stomp, yep.
So a micro pack, only 2 blockers on the track right now for Green Mountain. 4 more points on the board for Burning River.
Cerebellum looks like she's biding her time, taking a second to breathe after picking up those last 4 points.
My time, yeah, she could end this.
Yes. So as the jam clock only has 10 seconds remaining, period clock with 30 seconds, we'll see where it lies.
Oh, she can't end this. I got my columns mixed up. We will have potentially another jam.
Yes, though exhausting, an excellent jam for The birthday girl.
Timeout blue and an illegal
Sarah.
contact at the very
Ooh.
end. So we'll see who reports on the illegal contact. But another dozen points on the board. That ties the highest mark. Lots of skaters have put a dozen points on the board for Burning River. But it's been, five different times Burning River's put a dozen points on the board.
What?
No.
Oh, good. I wasn't talking.
Okay,
And-
just making sure.
Yeah.
I saw the mic go up. And
This is Burning River's last timeout.
so, Bobby, Chad has a mic in hand over here. And so I was checking. I was like, were you about to say something?
Oh, sorry.
I was confused. He wasn't. But it was just funny
Yeah. No, I was just.
waving the mic around.
I was just. Yeah, I was like goofing off over here with it.
So if the pairing stays as what's displayed, we will have number 37 on the blue team, Brianna Ruins, going against number 369, Snatch McCracken. Both with doing yeoman work for their respective teams. Large number of jams for each. 369 up until recently was 9 for 11. Now might be 9 for 12 or so. And number 37 was 12 for 14 or so. Another lead jam picked up by Brianna and Burning River.
Picking up some speed in turn 2 as Snatch McCracken exits the pack. Brianna Ruins watching, hands up in the air, awaiting confirmation from the bench, and Per Maloik calls it off.
Just in case there was any doubt on the time had been well past 0, but
Always
wanted to make sure.
nice to have an extra set of eyes. And at current, unofficial score 187 over 95 for Burning River versus Green Mountain. But we will wait official confirmation, of course. And don't forget our next game coming up for 11 a.m. Central New York's All-Stars versus Jersey Shore. So sure to be a lot of fun, and that was not a Jersey Shore pun. But something that made me laugh was that some of the fun facts that we have, I noticed someone on Jersey Shore, the reference is always lit, always covered in glitter. I mean, all I know is whoever's announcing on Broadcast Next is going to have a blast with that one. So it is official. Your final score for Burning River Roller Derby All-Stars, 187, the police code for homicide, versus Green Mountain's Grade A Fancy at 95. What a way to start the day.
Indeed, what a great tournament we are having already, and so much more yet to come. You're enjoying it all on Twitch.tv, brought to you by Nerd Derby Productions.
And I'm Beautiful Banshee.
I'm Bobby Narco. Our most excellent producer has been Giraffic Jam.
Traffic Jam. And it's been a pleasure. We'll see you back for the 11 a.m. game.
Cheers.